Could Bruno Fernandes be on his way out of Manchester United? In this video, we'll be going through all the news that's come out with Bruno Fernandes potentially looking away from Manchester United. He will be assessing his decision in the summer. But we were going through all the news that's come out from Rob Dawson and kind of talking about what this means for Manchester United, my thoughts on Bruno Fernandes potentially leaving, and we give you an overview of the news. So let's start off by talking Bruno Fernandes. Now, where we always start off is by talking about the news. So Manchester United are planning talks with Fernandes about his future ahead of the World Cup, with club bosses poised to tell the midfielder they want to keep him for another year. United, according to sources, will ask for indication before the World Cup from Fernandes and his representatives to talk about the future. Now again, Fernandes apparently will decide after the tournament what his decision actually is. Now listen, we know the news. Saudi have been linked with Bruno before. Remember, they offered that ridiculous 700k deal and he decided to stay at Manchester United. He then did that interview with Portugal media suggesting how United wanted him to go, but he wanted to stay at the club because they're giving him so much. Listen, ultimately, Bruno is one of the best players in the Premier League, and I'd argue that with anyone. For me, his output in the Manchester United shirt, but also his performances, the amount of moments Bruno has in this team is ridiculous. And you look at the news, listen, one thing that's not on his side is age. He's 32 or 33 now, or maybe even 31, but he's definitely on the older side of things. And I think with Bruno Fernandes, that is the only concern. There's no doubt that he loves the club. He puts 100% into every game. He's a captain, he's a leader, he gets goals, he gets assists. And I think the one thing that you would say about Bruno Fernandes, no one questions that, it's just the fact that age. And ultimately, at the time, Al Hilal were offering £100 million, which would have been, you could have got two or potentially three quality midfielders for that money. Now, as I said, my status on Bruno Fernandes, I would love to keep him for another year. I think where the club is at now, I don't think getting rid of Bruno Fernandes is a priority. And I think it would be sort of a concern. Not a concern, but it's not the biggest problem at Manchester United to kind of deal with at the moment. Now, again, you look at him as a player and as a person. He loves Manchester United and he's a quality player. So I don't see any reason why you let him go. Again, I could potentially see why United wanted him to go in this summer, because they wanted to raise money for him. Now, his stats for United have been great this season. 14 goal contributions in 19 matches. As a guy, he's unbelievable. Now, again, as I can say, my thoughts would be keep him for another year and then potentially in summer of 2027, see how that goes in terms of Bruno Fernandes. And then if he does want to leave, then I'd be happy to kind of let him go then. But I just think right now, Bruno Fernandes is too much of a vital player for this Manchester United team. I mean, you look at some of the games when we did miss him. Yes, we won against Newcastle, but was it convincing? No. And I think having Bruno in the team is a detriment to Manchester United. And listen, his contract is obviously very well paid. He signed a new contract in August 2024, which runs until June 2027. So again, I mean, a topic of June 2027 with a year option. So potentially a new contract talk would be on the card for Bruno. I certainly wouldn't go that far as yet. I think not giving him a new contract would be a problem, but certainly I would keep him for another year. And that's what I would do. He's 31. But again, his output is ridiculous for this team. And I think with the younger players coming through, the likes of Jack Fletcher, Tyler Fletcher, obviously Manu still in around the squad, Shea Lacey, these sorts of players, you see how much of a leader and impact Bruno has on these young players. So my thoughts on Bruno, listen, the reasons why I'd keep him, he can score goals, he gets assists, he's a leader. He's not the biggest problem in this Manchester United team at the moment. I think there are other sort of crying issues that need to be solved. I think Casemiro, Ugarte need to leave before Bruno, in my opinion. And I think we need to see him win a big trophy at the club. Like, on a personal note for Bruno, he probably does want to win the Champions League or Premier League. I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately, with him at the club, because I think he's going to leave in the next 2 seasons. And I don't see where United potentially win a Champions League. But he is one of those players who should be winning the Champions League at the club. I mean, he could have had in a different world, he could have had 2 Europa Leagues, 2 FA Cups, and a Carabao Cup. And again, I still don't think that would be kind of representative of Bruno Fernandes' time at Manchester United. But listen, Bruno Fernandes potentially will be assessing his option to leave Manchester United come at the summer window. He will make a decision after the World Cup. Now, in my opinion, I want Bruno to stay another year at least. I think, as I said, it would have been devastating him losing him in the summer. And I certainly think it'd be now devastating losing him. Now, it depends obviously on the money that is offered, whether Al Hilal offer sort of ridiculous sorts of money. That would then obviously change the matters and again see and change people's minds. But the minimum I'd want for Bruno is 100 mil. I mean, I know that's crazy, but you look at some of the prices. I mean, Elanga went for 60 mil. Like Madueke went for 50 odd. Like these sorts of players. Bruno Fernandes is 3-4 times the player. So listen, if you look at today's market, you look at way in which it's going. I think Bruno Fernandes staying at Manchester United for another year, playing at that top level, potentially get the club in the Champions League football. And in my eyes, he is a Manchester United legend, a guy who's come in, consistently plays every game. Like how many games has he missed for injury? I believe it's less than 15 games across a 7 year period. I think it is now, or 7 season period. It's unbelievable, and his consistency, his output, his love for the club is fantastic, and I don't see a reason why Manchester United should be in a rush to get rid of him. It don't make sense to me. I don't think it's a logical decision. And as I say, Casemiro should be going before him. I mean, Diego Dallo should be going before him. Luke Shaw, like these sorts of players should be going before Bruno Fernandes, and what a legend he is. But yeah, that is my thoughts. He is apparently going to be deciding his future after the World Cup, so we will wait and see what happens. Let me know your thoughts.